Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well. My name is Dwayne-Ross from Dwayne-Ross.com. I want to say thank you so much. I am actually on location in Virginia Beach. I actually had to go on location in Virginia Beach. I had an amazing situation to this weekend. One of uh, my nephews, actually, my sister's, um, I guess you would say her grandson, Lenore, he graduated from a high school, and he actually holds the record for the high jump for the state of Maryland. And by doing that, he actually got a full scholarship to participate in track at one of the most prestigious schools in the state of Virginia. And guess what that is? Yes, Virginia Tech. Yes, you guys, Virginia Tech. He is an awesome young man. He's been on the front lines, taking care of business, being there for his mom and his sisters. She's a single parent, has been raising them together on her own. I want to give a shout out to my niece Shantae Bell. This is EJ Bell. He is currently the record holder, like I said, in the state of Virginia for the high jump, and that actually put him in a situation where the college reached out to him and said, "Hey, we'd like you to jump and run for us, and in exchange, what we're going to do is pay for you to go to college." And in this time of COVID, you have an opportunity to do a lot of different things. I'm hoping you guys can hear me okay. I got comments. Hey, Tracy Gatton, are you hearing me all right? If you could put a comment in the comment section, I'd really appreciate that. That way I know for sure. I always can count on you guys being there for us. I'm waiting for my guests right now. They have been trying to get their laptop straight. For some reason, I'm not sure what's going on over that side of Cameroon, Africa, but we are going to be bringing them live into the studio. And my hope is that when we start having this conversation with Geraldine Forbah and her sister Maureen, that you guys will get blessed by them and what they have to offer. This whole TV show actually started, this DreamStream was the result of my 31 days of positivity. Before everything happened with George Floyd, before the craziness of COVID kind of ramped up, there were so many people feeling trapped in their homes. They were feeling trapped in their dreams. They were feeling despair about their future. And so I decided to do 31 days of positivity. And in doing so, so many people were so excited that afterwards I thought, well, what else can I do now? And I wound up getting a request from someone to join them. And that was my buddy Rob Howes. You guys saw him in episode 1. And he invited me to come along with 30 days of video on LinkedIn. After I did that, it was so exciting that I thought, what else do I need to do? And this whole idea of passion and the fact that I teach people to discover their tag, right? Their talent, their ability, their gift. And if they can figure out the talent, the ability, a gift, I'm actually getting a call. Looks like they might be there. I think they might be there. So that sounds like I got the notification. And so I'll be bringing them on in just a moment. But Tracy said you hear me fine. Grateful for those 31 days. Thank you so much. And it birthed this idea of connecting to people who I know already have a passion for what it is that they do. And so if you have a passion and you've been able to profit from that passion, then you're a great candidate for this conversation. Because, see, I don't want to have people on the show who are just thinking about what they're going to do. And I don't want people on the show who have only taken one action but haven't really manifested anything. The people that I've brought on your show, you guys have met some really dynamic individuals. You guys met a 19-year-old who currently has built his income to $5,000 a month part-time while he's in college. That was amazing. That was Malachi. You know, you guys got a chance to meet him. You guys got to meet Mr. Tucker, right? Keith Tucker. I brought him in, and we're actually getting ready to do 21 days of financial literacy, where he's going to take his time. And that 30-minute, 45-minute presentation that he did for you guys, I've asked him to come back, and we're going to do a live for 21 consecutive days. And we're going to be talking about getting rid of that mortgage. We're going to be talking about getting that, beefing up your savings plan, getting your retirement right, getting your credit score straight, all the things that you need, how to even make extra income by turning your home into a small business. If you do not right now have a small business as your second part of your portfolio, if you're a working class individual on a W-4, W-2, you fill out the W-4 and you turn in the W-2. If you're just doing that only, you are missing out on what America is all about, which is profits. And I really tell you that profits are always better than wages. Profits will give you an idea of having a lifestyle, but you can have an amazing life when you have profits, because the idea that was coined so eloquently in the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad was that you should have a way where money works for you instead of you working for money. As long as you are working for the money, you are in the position. You heard the cash flow quadrant, right? You're employee. You're in the employee. That's the tax the most and take home the least. Tax the most and take home the least. So when I talk about people who are profiting from their passion, it's because they found a way to make money with what they know they love, what they believe they have, and the things of that nature. So right now, I'm still, I thought that they were in. They dropped off. I'm hoping that they come on back in. I have two ladies that are dynamic from Africa who are going to share some things. One of them is a host of a TV show there called Ablaze TV. And I'm trying to tell you, they're doing some really fantastic things. And then the next person, that was Geraldine Forbah. Now, the second person is her sister, actually, who is a inspirational / gospel recording artist. And in that position, she is actually making her mark across the industry. And they're coming on today to share this information. So I want to say thank you so much for coming along with me. I'm hoping that you guys will be able to see these comments. They'll be coming across. And hey, Tracy, how you doing? You hear me fine? Grateful. She said she was grateful for those 31 days. Neri, Ken, excellent, great. So I haven't seen you, Mr. Ken. So it's great to see some new faces in our audience. And so again, I am still waiting for our guests to arrive. But in the meantime, as I always say, I have so much information to share that, I can do a show by myself, but it's not about me. It's about helping you get exposure and helping people get exposed to your gift, your talent, and your ability. Remember, the tag is your talent, your ability, your gift. And if God gave you something, every single human being has something that they're good at, whether they are thinking about doing it or they actually take the actions. And what we celebrate is taking action, right? Now, I also want to say to you guys, I am not going to just glaze over the last 2 weeks that we've had. We've had some very trying times in the United States. United States is finally coming to grips with racism, and not so much racism in the sense of it, didn't know it existed, because, it's been the fabric of this nation since its inception, because nobody discovered America, right? They didn't discover it because there were people already here. What they did was they came here and then took over this nation and created a new nation. And ever since then, in order to stay in the position of power, they had to make every single other nation less than them. That's what happened in America. And we have systematic racism. We have systematic systems that are in place that take the lives of individuals and actually make lives as if they don't exist, that they don't have any value. All right, so I believe our guest is here. I'm going to bring them into the the room here, and hey, Geraldine Forbah. Hey, I see you over there. Okay, let's see if we can hear you. Let's make sure we can hear you speaking to your microphone or what have you. Hello,
Hi,
ladies.
hello.
Now we are probably on a delay because of the fact that you're all the way on the other side of the world right now. It's what, midnight
Yeah.
over there?
Yes, actually, it's
Okay, so
midnight.
is you been up kind of late, or did you take a nap first and come back? How did y'all do it?
Mm, we didn't actually take a nap because we didn't want to miss the time. So,
You didn't want to go to sleep, and they were like, "Dang it, I was supposed to be on the show." Well, good, good. Hello, Miss Maureen. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm blessed. All is well. Every day I get another chance to live. I'm thankful and I'm grateful, and I actually celebrate that. And so I can only say I'm really thankful to have you and your sister here. We talk about having a passion. We talking about profiting from our passion. You both are doing some fabulous things. I've known Geraldine for a couple of years because she reached out when she wanted to start her first book, and now
wow.
she's doing all kind of different things, and we kind of reconnected recently when she was on fire, and I was like, girl, what you doing on fire? She running around on fire, and I was like, what is it called? She said Ablaze TV. So why don't you tell us who you are and why you decided to say yes to my invitation to be on the show, and then what value are you bringing in reference to your gift, your talent, your ability, or what I call your passion for profits. Tell us about that, because you guys had some stuff to overcome just to
Yeah.
be alive, right, in your area. So I want you to share the nitty gritty, share the dirty dirty. I'll be bringing it out because we want people to understand that it's not a cakewalk.
Of course,
Mm-hmm.
it's
It's
not
not easy.
at
If it
all.
was easy, everybody would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let me be quiet and let y'all talk. Go ahead.
Okay, my name is Geraldine Forbah, and I'm the fourth girl child of five girls. My mom is Nigerian and my dad is Cameroon. I was born in Nigeria, but I was practically full time raised in Cameroon. So though I'm kind of connected to my Nigerian side all the more. I don't know why, but I have all my memories and everything here in Cameroon. I started off as a singer, singing in a church choir, the Flames, and with my sisters, we sang a lot and we're still singing together. We grew up in this messed up environment where everybody is out for themselves. Nobody cares about you, or even if they have to care, they'll want to take advantage of what you have just so they could better themselves. So it's not like people are looking out for you because they really love you or they want to do something for you. They're looking out for you for what you have and they want to use you and then make a name for themselves. So we practically learn how to live in that kind of system and hoping and praying that someday we're going to have opportunity, we're going to have a platform to make things different for ourselves and for our world. And we've been serving for like 11, 12 years in the flames, singing from place to place, platforms to platforms, from this audience to this audience. And though we really didn't have nothing in repay to repay us, but we just kept on doing it because it was our passion and we knew that we were doing this for God and not for man. And until this year or sometime late last year when we were introduced to this group of people, the Ablaze family, that's when they found my sister Maureen and she blessed them with her gift. She was invited to sing in a program and she blessed them with her gift and they were really, really wowed and touched by what she did. And so she was called over to minister in this program organized by the Ablaze family. And when she did, the boss of Ablaze, who lives in America, called her and spoke to her for a length of time I'm not getting into so much details. That's when she was put up to be signed for Ablaze Music as the first artist. And then me, and on the other hand, I was just helping and I was just assisting her in most of what she was doing since she had to go on tour and she was doing this for the very first time. She couldn't do all of this by herself. And since we've been working together for so long, we have like passions, we're connected to each other, like we're just like one. We're totally not separate. You can't separate us. So I just like, okay, let me step in and I can help you the best way I can, give you my best support. So I started acting like her PA. I assisted her in her tours, assisted her in whatever she had to do. And for me, I was just doing it because I really do love my sister and I love what she does. And we were trained to support each other to the death. That's what our parents taught us, to stay connected, to stay love each other, stay supporting each other for whatever we want to do. And that's how I was working with her until then I got a call from the boss of Ablaze and he was like, I want to start TV a TV something here in Cameroon and I think you're good for it. And it's like, what? I know nothing about TV.
So they reached out to you to be the personality for the TV show instead of you deciding, hey, I'm going to do this thing. Your
Yes.
gift made room, right? Because God
Yeah.
talks about that. He talks
Yeah.
about how you don't always have to go looking for us. People will be looking for you. So they
Exactly.
asked you to come on their show and
Yeah.
start this new thing that they wanted to get going. And then
Yeah.
you became the personality, the face
Yeah.
of the show. That's
Exactly.
amazing.
Exactly.
That's outstanding.
And so when the call came in, I was really like, okay, I've never really done this before ever in my whole life,
Hmm.
and I have no education whatsoever as regards doing TV stuff and sitting and talking to people and hear people talk back to me. I'm not the kind of person who talks even. That's one of the things is I find it so hard to express myself with words. That's why I went into writing because I can write anything whatsoever when it comes to penning down words. I could do that a lot, but when it comes to speaking, no, that was not my best strength. So that was not my best strength at all. Maureen is the talkative. She can talk from today to tomorrow. So
I'm laughing because whatever they saw is 100% what they saw, because I saw your first interview. You sent that to me and I said that
yeah,
is natural talent. That is so wonderful. And so
yeah,
I like to slow my guests down because you talked over a lot of different things. You said a lot of things that
yeah,
empower people, and I have to make sure that they hear these things because a lot of times people just watch, and I want
yeah,
to make sure that they don't just watch, but they get educated. And
yeah.
this weekend, I actually was listening to a conversation between two powerhouse um, civil rights leaders in America currently. One of them was Angela Davis now, not Angela Davis from back in the 60s and 70s, but
Mm,
Angela Davis now. And the other one was Janet Janet. Oh gosh, I can't think of it right this second, but I'll get it. But anyway, here's the key. The key was they both were talking, but one said, "We're not trainers. You train dogs. We're
Mhm.
not teachers. You teach info.
yeah,
You educate when you change the mind of people.
that's
You
it.
educate when you connect their heart."
Yeah,
And so uh, this is awesome. Now, Tracy, we got people that's also in the chat. She says, how do you overcome that talking when that's not your comfort zone? Because, see, you had to figure out a way. You said
yeah,
writing was your thing. When you know that writing is your thing and not talking, it changes everything. So
yeah.
Mhm.
tell us about how you knew how to write with no problem, but now you're in front of a camera and they give you the personality possibility for Blaze TV, and now you have to speak in front of people. Talk about how you were able to make that transition.
Well, I think that whatever you invest in yourself will someday come out. Because when I was really small, we used to just do this kind of stuff. We will come together and we will have to imitate people talking and acting, because I love to act. We both love to act. We had this dream that someday we might actually be on the big screen acting. And so we used to practice, we used to rehearse how to act. And we'll practically stand, we'll shout at each other, we'll hit each other, and we have to stay in the act. And that,
Mm.
yeah, that kind of like built a personality in me that was just there hidden. And when it was time for me to show it forth, it just came out. I don't really know how, but I think I was nursing something or somebody that just needed a platform and a place to show for it. So that's just how it worked. And when I was placed in front of the camera and I was like, okay, do your first show, talk. I was nervous. Truly, it was not easy at that very first start. And you should know that my first show was canceled because it was not good. It
He
didn't work.
said, "No, no, this ain't working. We need to cancel." I thought she would do it, but nah. Let's excuse me. Can we give her some ice cream and tell her to go home? And so it was canceled, and you were like, "Oh my God, what are we gonna do?" So what happened? You went back at it, and
Yeah.
and
Yes, it was actually canceled because it didn't work out. So I'm that kind of a person. I learn by experience. Like if you want me to do something for you, you just need to let me do it the first time. When I do it the
mm,
first, the second time, I'm good to go. So my first mistake, I learned from my first mistake, and when I was given this the second chance, I did good. And when the video came out, everybody was like, "Wow, did you learn this? Did you go to school? Did you ever study journalism in school?" I was like, "No, no, 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 no. I learned that facing the camera. I think the child that I was nursing when I was practicing how to act and how to confront people with my sister, because I was really comfortable with her, that person just came out, and it was just there like that."
yeah, that a preach. Tracy actually put Colossians 3:23 from the
Mhm.
New Living Translation. Work willingly, right? You were willing to go at it again. And I just posted, take advantage of the second chance. But what I heard you say is that you guys had to learn this skill, right? And in the midst of this skill, you said, okay, try to take me out of character. Do
Yeah.
whatever you can to move me out of character. And
Yeah.
because you were able to practice getting pushed out of character and you were able to maintain character, you were able to build that competency that made that skill stick.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you got to know that you're going to get challenged. You're
A
going to
lot.
get an opportunity and you're going to be in that situation where you might want to give up. You might want to quit. You might want to cave in. You might want to like just say, nah, this is not for me. But see, when you have something that came to you from God Almighty, when the universe and God conspired to build you, to put it in you, to put that seed in you, I don't care what you do, you cannot let it go. And if you
Yeah.
just give it a little nurturing, just a little bit of water, what's going to happen is going to grow. And so I
Yeah.
want to encourage every single person that's watching this to listen to the words that were just spoken to you, because this was not on her plate.
At, at
Writing
all.
in the background was cool. I can
Yeah.
write. I don't have to talk. Nobody has to know it's me. As a matter of fact, I could have another name. I really, I really could just write a couple of books and go on about my business. And I remember you were working on your first book, and you're like, "Hey, Mr. Dwayne, can you help me with?" And I was like, "Who are you first? I don't even know who you are." And it was Tracy Everett who
Yeah.
had another show who introduced you to me. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm doing this thing with the Write Your Story course. Maybe you should write your story. And then we went back and forth and we've been connected ever since. And now you're in a whole nother area of your journey. And we're reconnected now in you said you didn't take journalism. You
No.
decided to go with the natural gift.
Yeah. Yes. It was actually a natural gift, and I just had to flow with it. When you're gifted with something, you don't need to be educated at it. You can get education to make it better. I
Wait. Don't even slip through that one. Say, Maureen, what did she just say? What did she just say? When you have a gift, what, girl? Say that again, because people think you got to go to Harvard.
No.
No.
No,
Actually,
what's the deal?
when you have a gift, when you're gifted for something, you don't need to study to make it come out. When you're there and you're given the platform, it just comes out. And now it is your choice to know that, okay, I know I need knowledge in order for me to reach out to bigger platform. And then you go get knowledge. Like, for example, when I started the show, I realized that I needed to expand my thoughts. I need to think bigger out of my normal environment, out of my scope. So I
Right.
started learning. I started reading a lot, and
Mm-hmm.
with that, it will just sharpen that skill and make you a kind of a person you can reach anybody anywhere. So you
Yes.
get to knowledge because you want to expand your coast, not because you want to be who you're supposed to be. It's already there. You just need a platform to start. And when you start, you know you need to go for more because you want to reach out to more.
Wow. Okay, Maureen, you got to say something. She been sitting
Yeah.
there all quiet. She been chilling on the side. She been sitting, nodding her head and been like, and then smiling and everything. You got to chime in on this one. You got to chime in on this one. What's going on? What's
Yes.
happening?
So, my name is Maureen Forbah. I am 22 years old, and I am a gospel recording artist, songwriter, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I've been singing for 10 years, serving in the choir, the Flames Choir. I started singing when I was 12. And a lot of people think, like, because they hear me singing now, they're like, oh, wow, you started singing when you were 12. That's why you're this good. But then when we started singing the Flames Choir, we were never allowed to go close to the mic
Yeah.
because
Oh,
we would stop stuff.
Well, it's so bad.
We were that bad, sounding so bad. So
they said you can't make a joyful noise in this choir.
the they were like, stay at the background until you grow.
Okay.
So I was I was practically at the background for like 4 years, and only came forward after that time when I was ready enough. And I think, yes, the choir was very right to say that I was not ready for leading or worship leading at the time. So I started singing lead and the Flames Choir after 4 years. And from then on, I grew onto what I am today.
Yeah.
And like Geraldine explained, last year, Ablaze company found me, and they just invited me for a program, like it was a worship program they did. And I ministered at that program, and they were like, wow, we really need to get you. We have to sign you. You're the person we've been looking for. And me, yeah, to
He
me,
said,
I
y'all
didn't
been
sign.
looking for me? Little old
Yeah.
me, y'all been where was y'all looking at? Where y'all
Yeah. And me, that day I ministered, I didn't sound that great for anybody to want to sign me that much.
Yeah.
But I think because it was God's timing and it was what He wanted for me at that time, He
Yes.
made it happen. He put the passion in the heart and the fire in the hearts. And they
Mm.
saw what they saw. Whatever they saw it. And but they were right. And today I am recording with Ablaze,
Yeah.
and it's amazing. It's really been an amazing journey.
Yeah.
So sometimes some people can see more in you than what you see when you look in the mirror,
Exactly. My
right?
case.
Yeah.
That was my case. That was my
Exactly.
case.
So now, Geraldine, you said there is no way she could do this by herself. So I've got to step in and use whatever talent, whatever skill, whatever ability, whatever advantage whatever I can do to
Yeah.
support my sister and to
Mhm.
help move her gift further.
Yeah.
And you already have a platform, which is, a television show,
Yeah.
which when you have that, you get viewership. And
Mhm.
I'm sure at one point you only had two people watching, kind of like me. I had like three or four people, watching, and I've been expanding from week to week to week. And I haven't spent any advertising money yet. I only put out the budget once, but you decided to stand by your sister and help push her out into further out by giving her opportunity. So talk about how you grapple with the idea that I'm not sure who's the oldest. Are you who's the oldest sister? Okay, Geraldine, you're the oldest. So sometimes when you see the little brother, little sister doing big things, you're like, wow, everybody don't do that. Everybody don't get behind little sister who's now going to outshine. I
Yeah.
don't know. So talk about that, y'all. Let's hear the nitty gritty. How many fights did you have?
Well, yeah, that is actually very true because in my community, that's not very normal. It's supposed to be the other way around. The big
Yeah.
sister needs to go ahead, and then of course she needs to be my assistant. And I remember I had this question from one of my cousins in Nigeria, and he was like, your little sister's PA, really? Why?" And I was like, no, I don't consider her my little sister when she's out ministering. I serve the
Mm.
grace of God over her life, and when she's in that place of service in the kingdom, she's not just my little sister anymore.
Mhm.
She's a servant of God, and I'm serving God's grace over her.
Amen.
Stop.
That
Stop. You cannot say that fast.
of course,
Everybody, y'all that are listening, y'all that are watching this on replay, y'all that are on live right now or YouTube, y'all that are live on Facebook, did you hear what this young lady has said? It is such a mature position
Yeah.
for young people. Young people, listen. You are the future, and the future is not tomorrow. The future is now.
yeah,
Mhm.
Us older people are getting out of y'all way. Believe me, we got to get out of your way. Now we're gonna help y'all craft some things. We're gonna help you figure some stuff out, but we got to get out the way and let y'all do what the heck y'all needs to do. All right.
yeah,
But slow down and tell us about that again, because you said people came to you and were like, really?
yeah,
You're supporting your little sister? You're behind her? You're walking behind? I mean, that had to feel a certain way. And I'm sure that had to also come across a certain way in your family because this structure from
yeah,
just growing up the way that you grew up.
yeah.
It's customs in Nigeria. It's customs in Cameroon. There's customs about this kind of stuff. Slow down and talk about the pain of that and then the power of that.
Okay, this is what happened when I started going along with her, and people were just looking at me like, okay, so where's your own life heading to? Are you just going to walk behind her? Probably there'll come a time you need to carry her back. Are you really going to just do that? Who are you going to be, and what's your life going to be like? I just want to believe that, and this is my testimony. When we went on a media tour when I was with her, I had in mind that maybe in one of her interviews, they were at least going to call me in. At least people should know that, okay, she's going with her, and people should see that I'm part of this thing. But then when
Hmm.
I went there, I went the first place we went to the national television, that was Sierra TV. I was all dressed, she was all dressed, and we were so early, we sat there. And the journalist came in and like, who is the artist? And she said, okay, I'm the artist. And who are you? I said, oh, I'm her personal assistant. So, okay. And I had to wait behind the room. I was like, why? I thought maybe they'll just say, okay, your personal assistant, come in. You might have a few things to say about who she is and the music she's making. But they're like, no, we just have one space. You have to stay behind. I was like, okay.
They said you can't come in.
Okay.
You can't come in. She gets to go.
I was
You
like,
like, wait,
okay. I was
but
like,
how
okay,
y'all gonna play me like this? Okay.
seriously. I was like, I'm all dressed for this. Can't you guys say I came prepared? Face the camera.
I got earrings. I got new earrings. Like, y'all kidding me?
I had makeup on and was well dressed. Like I was really prepared. But they told me I needed to stay back. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I took in a deep breath and I was like, oh God, I know that there's a reason for this. And I'm serving this, I'm serving the grace. I'm not serving my sister. I'm not serving anybody here. So do whatever you want to do. I'll follow. I'll do whatever I can to support her. Do whatever I can to make sure that the gospel of Christ is preached. And that did not just end there. We went to the next place. The same thing happened. We went to the next place. The same thing happened. And trust me, by watching this journalist talk to her and ask her these questions, I learned a lot from them. When we got back from that tour, it was not up to 2 months, 3 months that I had this opportunity to start doing television myself. So the experience I had staying back and watching them talk to her actually added to my experience as well, and that helped me in my television as well. And when I sat on that when I sit on that chair to talk to people, I reflect back on what those journalists used to do, and I get the feeling and I can apply it to my own job right now. So it was like a training process for me, and God actually tests your heart and your humility by what you do. If you serve, like Christ said, that if you want to be the master, you need to serve, even serve your servants. And I was serving her, serving the grace of God over her life, and I got promotion. And now I have an identity for my own self. Though I have that identity, I'm still going to be serving the grace of God over her life as long as I can. Because from there, I have my own identity and I'm building my own career. I have a job and that's paying me off well for the moment, which I'm so grateful to God for that. So I told people that no, I don't care. I don't care because she's my little sister. She's a minister of the gospel. She has grace, and that's what I'm serving. So I don't know how you guys want to see it, but I know what I'm
This is what's
doing.
up.
Yeah,
Well, this is awesome. Again, so many people are very, like you talked about, even in your nation, how selfish they were, right? It's not
yeah,
about what they can get or get, it's how they can support what you're doing. They only support what you're doing so they can take what you have, so they can
yeah,
have what they want, and they basically use or leverage you. And
yeah,
so, that is a dog eat dog kind of world, right? That's the kind of thing that some people in this nation, the United States nation, because they move everything based on profit. It's all about profit, and they're willing to destroy lives for profit. They're willing to continue antiquated belief systems for profit. They're willing to just destroy dreams because of this, right? So here
yeah,
you were on the opposite side of that, saying, "How do I support my sister?" And not only did that happen, but it blew up and added value to your life to the
yes, a
point
lot.
that now you became a personality for television. So I know we don't have a lot of time, but we're now moving into the second half of the show. And whenever I have two people, it's pretty much we kind of make it move the way that we can.
Yeah,
Right now there is a actual fire right outside my window across the street, and there's people in the hallway talking about this building that is actually on fire. Um,
Hmm.
I'm not going to show it because it's not a big deal, but I will take a picture and I'll post it in Facebook. So those that are watching, you'll be able to see that. I'm going to take some photos of the smoke, and I'll let me do a little quick video of that. So I will post that so you guys will know that that distraction was real, and it's going up in smoke, but it's nothing major. There's no rally or anything like that. It's just something that's happening across the street. But listen, Maureen, you have the voice, and
Yeah.
you said at 12 years old they were like, "Excuse me, but back away from the mic." But now they're giving you the mic and saying, "Please bless us with a song." Can you tell us about that part of your journey? How you were 12 years old and someone said, "No, you can't," and you really wanted to, but now
Mhm.
the same people are probably saying, "Please, please come," and bless us with your voice. Talk about that.
Well, I was really, um, I'm the kind of person who is really honest with herself. If I don't sound really nice, I would probably tell myself, "Oh, you don't sound well, so just you should probably just go to the back of the line." So I did not feel like they were putting me down or anything. I felt like, oh, these people are right. I don't sing on key. I can't really pronounce the words in a song really well. I don't know what I'm doing. If I should get the mic, I'm probably going to sweat and pee and do everything at the same time. So I should probably stay back and grow. And to me, at the time, music wasn't really my thing. That was
Yeah.
not what I wanted to do. I always wanted to be an accountant. So I was like, oh, this is just an extra activity for me. Probably, let's just see how it goes and stuff like that. But as the years went by, I started loving it like a passion when I found out, oh, you're talented in this. You should probably focus on that. And I started growing and putting myself to work. I mean, like real hard work. Talk about hours of vocal training and singing. And I took it really seriously. And that's how I grew to the point where people are like, is this the same girl who was right at the back and now she's right here blessing us? And we can't do anything in the choir without saying, okay, Maureen, please get the mic. Maureen, please get the mic.
Yeah.
So it was consistent hard work that moved me from the back of the line right to where I am right now.
Oh, I think I was muted. Growth isn't achieved by killing others, but through support. Yeah, that's awesome. Um, Marlene Davis, she was actually my first show. Thank you, Marlene, for being here. Wonderful guest. Love their passion serving God. Yeah, Marlene Davis, she's actually a health coach. And my first show was about physical health and mental health. So I had Rob Howes and Marlene. But people are resonating with what you're saying, both of you, because not only is it a mature way to look, and I say mature because you're under 25, you're both under 30. And in today's society, people don't seem to want to grow up until they're 50. So, to be that aware and to be that, to think that have that foresight, anytime it's raised up or it's exampled in front of us, it changes things. And so you guys are changing lives. You ladies are changing lives. Hey, Tracy, Terry, good to see you. Thank you, Tracy, as well for your comments. What we have, Julius C. I think that's one of your friends, right? Awesome Passion Girls,
Yes,
right?
That's
Yeah,
us.
yes. They're from where are they at? And then we got Tracy again. People are resonating with the two of you. Number one, like I said to you, Geraldine, your passion is evident in just your conversation about what you're doing. You don't even have to show excitement about it because it's how you talk about the opportunity God has given you to bless the world. And so Maureen, you have some really special things happening right now because at first it was like, this little thing is happening. And then it was like, hey, this song came out. And then it was like, hey, another song came out. And now it's like, yo, check this out. I got a teaser for you. I'm like, wait a minute. I need them on the show to talk about this stuff
yeah,
because it was
yeah.
a 1, 2, 3. I think it was a 3 or 4 punch. It was like boom, 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 back to back
Yes.
situations for you. So let's talk about that real quick because I'm sure you didn't think it was going to happen that fast. But
Yeah.
since it
Mm.
happened, it has just propelled you into a place that's just, again, that God promotion. It's amazing. Go ahead, talk about it.
Yeah, it's a complete change of story. Like, my life has changed drastically. I'm not the same person as I was probably January last year. A lot different now. When I was going to the studio to record the first song, I was like, that morning, I was like, you sure? this is happening. Are you sure you're going to do this? And then I saw the posters and everything. And when the song finally dropped and people were being blessed, I was like, still trying to get used to the fact that I'm this girl now who a lot of people look to, who a lot of people are being blessed by, whom God is using to touch a lot of lives. It's been like a transformation, when you turn black to white. Yeah,
Mm.
that's how um that's how different it is for me, because I was just like Maureen, the girl who wants to be an accountant, stay at the back. I never want to be put in front, like let people see me or see the stuff that I do, like, wow, there's Maureen. It just feels so comfortable, sometimes feels embarrassing, but then again, it feels great to be used by God to bless people. That is where I find satisfaction, when people are being blessed, when they don't just see me and they're like, wow, that's the girl. She has that nice voice. She can sing so well. But when they are transformed, because that's practically what my music is all about, to transform lives, turn people's attention back to God, let people see that there is a higher power that can actually sort out situations in their lives, because I've seen him work for me. So that's all that I want to show people. So it's been like a whole new world for me. Sometimes I'm like walking on the streets and they're like, hi Maureen, hi Maureen, and I don't know them. Geraldine is here, she can't testify. I'm like, how do they know me?
So
So
you
it's
so you're seeing a
oh,
little bit of stardom in the streets of Cameroon, where people are coming up to you saying, "Hey, Maureen, we heard your
yeah,
song. Hey," and so
it's
that has to be surreal. Like you thought about that when you was 12 years old, but now here you are older, and it's actually
yeah,
happening.
it's happening. Feels kind of strange. It's nice, and then it's strange, and then it's nice. So it's just always I'm still trying to get used to, but I'm really happy that I could bless people with my music. I think that's all that matters, the blessing that people get when they listen to what God has to say through me. It's just amazing. Amazing.
Well, we've been talking about you singing a little bit, and I know that we're still trying to figure out how to get that into the stream. So, as I do sometimes, I will ask a person to just give us a little couple of notes, acapulco. I call it acapulco. It's acapella, of course. We know that, but it's just a funny way to say it. But I think that when you have a blessing, you have something that God has blessed you with, and you share it. The anointing, as Marlene mentioned, it radiates through you. So I know you're not, you don't have the music there and everything like that. But if you can just do a couple of little notes live, I think that would really be cool. And if you can take like, I don't know, tell us about the three songs, because you have one that was like, just for me, it just hit me when I listened to it. I was like, that is such a praise song. So you could pick whichever one you want. Yeah, you had the one where you're dancing, and whoever did the video where they did a character video, right? They did it like an illustration, and I thought that was cool because it looked like a game, but it was like, hey, we're praising God, right? So talk about, give us a little something, something. And I don't know, Geraldine, you might want to introduce her, like she's coming on the stage or something, and then have her like, bye bye.
Going to be singing, so okay.
Okay.
I've been captured by your love, Jesus, Jesus love. I've been captured by your love, Jesus love, Jesus love. When you found me,
How you pick me where I forgot. Jesus, your love. How you challenge me. You bring out the best in me, Jesus. Where I forget. It no be Jesus love. Jesus love. Jesus love. Hey, I've been captured by your love, Jesus love, Jesus love. I've been captured by your love, Jesus love, Jesus love.
Oh, y'all was on fire. That was fire, man. That was fire. The harmony was tight.
Thank
Oh
you.
wow. I just can't. I'm just so thankful, Geraldine, for that little conversation that we had, and now it's this right, and there's more. There's more. I don't have a clue. I'm trying to tell you, I just surrendered to my dream. I surrendered to what God had stirred up in my heart after the 31 days. This is what I'm doing right now, but it is taking on a life that I didn't even know. It's something I thought about over 25 years ago, something I had an opportunity to do 25 years ago that I actually lived long enough to start it again. This is my second chance. And in pushing forth my second chance, I run into you guys, you ladies. And everybody says it's beautiful. You know, Neri said there was a marriage between the girls and the Blaze family is a divine orchestration. God has put that
Yeah.
together. People talk about marriage, what God has put together, no man could put asunder. But sometimes God puts businesses together. Sometimes God's put people in your pathway. Sometimes there's just situations that you have no idea. You just have to surrender to what He puts in our hearts and spirits and souls and bodies. And so, as we come to, we got about 8 minutes um, to wrap up. Tell us what's the big release, the big situation that's happening right now. Where are you going to be on tour? Where people can find your music? Where can they find your ministry? I mean, what do you have on the horizon? Let's just hear from all of that.
All right. So it's actually big news that tomorrow, my third single is going to be dropping tomorrow at 4 p.m. Cameroon time, I think. Yes. And you can find that on YouTube, iTunes, and every digital music platform. But please, you guys, follow us on Ablaze record label on YouTube. Subscribe so that you can always get my music. It's always going to be there, as well as all the digital music platforms. So tomorrow is the release of "I Look Up to the Hills." That's a song that I wrote 4 years back, and we're only getting to release it now because it is timely.
Yeah.
I think with everything that's going on in the world, um, we just need to turn our attention from the situations and circumstances that are surrounding us and focus on a higher power that can actually solve these problems for us, who actually holds the solution and the wisdom to survive in times like this is with him.
Yeah.
So the purpose of this song for me is to turn the eyes of people and their focus from what is going on around and look to God, and we're going to be safe. He is able to transform us. And like the company I belong to, Ablaze Music, is all about bringing people to worship God in spirit and in truth, because the
Yes.
Bible says that a time is coming and is now when true worshipers are going to worship God in spirit and in truth. We are all about worshiping God genuinely, worshiping in spirit, worshiping in truth. No pretense, no bias, nothing like that, but just focusing on the greatness and the power of God. And we want to see his kingdom come on earth. So I look up to the hills is one of those songs. I call it worship affirmations, because it talks
Mm.
about our trust and belief in the one true God who can actually deliver and save us from the things that are going on around us. And I know that this is going to be a blessing. Like I said before, you can follow us on Ablaze Music on YouTube, so you can always get my music as soon as it drops. So anticipate for I Look Up to the Hills tomorrow. It's going to be amazing, amazing.
Well, what I'd like to do, because I don't know if you can do it on that side because I don't have the link, but if you put it in a comment, there's a comment. If you make a comment to the link or to your YouTube channel or something like that, or what you'll do is you guys will send it to me, and then when I close the show down, I will edit it and put the information in the edits. That way, also, I'll put it in
Yes.
the replay so people can click on it and they could be there to celebrate with you guys, you ladies. You know, I say guys, it's like us, but you ladies. Because I did that one time and somebody said, I am not a guy. And I was like, I know that. You know that. I'm just saying, come on, guys. But anyway, I will make sure that happens. Oh, look at Neri Ken is already threw it out there. Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yes.
Profound worship released tomorrow is free. Okay, is this a manager? Is this a manager? Yeah, this one of y'all managers over here.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, Ken,
Yes.
thanks for being there, man. Put it in the comment. So let me make sure that that's available to everybody. And you guys will also make sure that we put the links in the after show notes. So that way people can connect with you. They can also watch your next upcoming broadcast. When is your next broadcast, Geraldine?
Well, right now, the Ablaze TV, we are on a break because we're preparing to do a vlog shoot coming the first week of July. The Ablaze family is a big family. We
Right.
learn to focus on one thing at a time so that we don't get mixed in our vision. So now we are fully focused on Ablaze music, which is part
Oh,
of the
okay.
Ablaze family, because
Okay.
yeah, we're having this big release. We're having this big release tomorrow, and we want to make sure that this message is spread abroad
Yes.
without no distractions. So when we are done spreading the message abroad, we'll go back to TV and listen,
Okay.
spreading the
Okay.
message abroad.
Well, I
And
got
we really want to
that's awesome.
say thank you to Mr. We really want to say thank you to Mr. Julius for
Yes.
his potential and he invested in it. Unlike some people who see potential and just walk all over it, but he saw potential and he's investing in it. We want to
Yeah.
say a big thank you. He's the
Such a
president
blessing.
of a Blaze family and he has been a big blessing to us. He has been teaching us a lot, and because of him, we have this platform that we're having right now.
Yeah.
And we want to say thank you to Mr. Larry Ken for always being there for us as well.
Yes.
We just want to be out here watching and
Amazing.
amazing people.
Amazing
We
people.
really so blessed to have them in our lives, and they have taken us through this journey right up to this point, and we're going to do big things.
Yeah.
So the world wait for us because we as the Ablaze family,
We are
Ablaze
coming
TV,
with the
Ablaze
news.
Music, we're doing big things.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna wait for you, but you know what's gonna happen? Y'all gonna slap them upside the head and say, "Pay attention now," because we got this thing going. You guys are awesome. This is amazing. What's going on? I'm so blessed to have an opportunity to have you on my show at the beginning of everything, because when you're part of the beginning of things, some people forget, and there's a day that they'll be able to go back and they go, "Remember that time when da 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 da." I'm gonna have to get my
Yeah.
passport is cool. I don't have any stamps for Cameroon, so I'm gonna probably have to get me a couple of stamps for Nigeria, Cameroon. I actually do have a friend in Nigeria, a ministry there by from a gentleman that used to be in California, and he went back to Nigeria. I believe it's Nigeria. Yeah, I was trying to think if it was Kenya, but it's not. His name is Larry Sumney, and he actually has a ministry there now in Nigeria. So this might be one of those divine appointments where I might have to come check something out and, make that move.
Yeah.
So people are really thankful. Thank you, everybody that's watching the show. We're about to wrap up. Thank you, Geraldine and Maureen. Grateful for you sharing your stories. Again,
Thank
Ken
you.
shared some information for you guys. If you can get that link. If not, again, I'll be putting that link in the show notes and things of that nature. I would like to, if you could just give us one last word of godliness, God and passion, passion to profit word to the Passion and Profit network, from both of you. First, let's hear from Maureen, and then let's hear your closing words, Geraldine, if you don't mind.
What?
So
I
we'll
didn't hear
hear.
that
Yeah,
last part very well.
yeah, we'd like to hear one last parting word or any kind of encouragement you may have for the people watching.
Okay, I just have this one thing I go by: consistency, continuity, birth results. For whatever you're doing, just keep at it, be consistent, continue, see the result just come out one day without you even noticing. Whatever you build and whatever you're nurturing will someday meet a platform or an opportunity that needs to be expressed. So keep doing that, what you're doing. Keep trusting God and keep rely on the Holy Spirit to lead you and to guide you. And believe me, when that opportunity will present itself, it will not fail you.
Yeah, and
Awesome.
want to say, I just want to say that for me, pursuing the heart of God in whatever you do with all diligence and all authenticity and truth is what the world needs right now. People who pursue after what God wants,
Yeah.
because everything else is failing. Human ideologies are failing, and God has the solution for people. And if we can put ourselves in that position where we are vessels that He can use to bring solution to the world, then the world can become a better place.
Yeah.
So I just encourage everybody to pursue God's heart and be diligent. Whatever He's put in your hands to do, be a good steward over that. And it's going to be an amazing blessing for the whole world
Yeah.
to have you here.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't say nothing else after that. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you heard those words, consistency, connection, and then use what God has given you. Be that vessel. My favorite quote by one of the most amazing men that ever lived on the earth, Gandhi, is be the change that you want to see. And to be the change means you're going to need to surrender to your gift. And as I said, when you identify with your tag, your talent, your ability, your gift, you can shift your focus and move forward into the thing that you've been given. And when you
Yeah.
Right.
put that to work in the earth, lives change. And outside of changing lives, people's lives are transformed. I don't care if I have
Right.
a million people watching this. If nobody's life is transformed, doesn't matter to me. But if I had three people watching and one life was transformed, then I feel that having this platform has done its job. Thank you so much. I'm Dwayne-Ross, your host,
Thank
author of the book No More Crumbs from the Table. I'm celebrating here today with two amazing young ladies from Cameroon, Africa, in the area of worship, inspiration, and support of one another, using their passion to the glory of God. Miss Geraldine Forbah and her sister Maureen, and Ablaze family. The Ablaze family. music right now.
Yes.
So thank you so much, ladies. If you could sing another little piece of that song as we go for like 30 seconds, I really appreciate it. I love that song. I want the last voices that everybody
Okay.
hears. Two of y'all, go for it.
All right. I've been captured, captured by love, Jesus love, Jesus love. I've been captured, captured by your love, Jesus love, Jesus love.
All right.
Thank you.